Hello, welcome to the Adam & Co show, here in Falmouth, Cornwall. I'm Adam, and with me I have...
James Crump.
And James Maitre.
Two Jameses, just to be confusing, so I've probably just used surnames, Crump and Maitre. So I haven't done an episode in a while, not since I think, like Easter time, because...
You did one for the Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, with Timothy Mason and Matthew Stolton, and we spoke a little about Winter Soldier as well, because that came out then. So yeah, that was quite a few months ago. So I thought we'd have kind of like a casual little chat about what we've been watching at the moment. I've got something I want to rant about.
Fair.
Yeah. How are you guys? You alright?
Marvellous.
Bit warm.
Marvellous.
Yeah.
It's a bit warm in here. So first off, just to kind of get things going, what have you guys been watching lately?
What have you been watching, Mr. Crump?
I've been watching a few transnational films actually.
Oh really?
Some crazy guy.
Yeah.
Anything
like
worth mentioning?
Eastern Promises.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's one with Viggo Mortensen in, isn't it?
Yeah, which is, after talking to Anna, is apparently extremely racist.
Oh right.
So
I didn't realise that. For those who don't know, I probably don't because you're not, of course, Anna is one of our lecturers at the university. She teaches us transnational cinema.
Yeah.
Apparently, yes, that's really racist. How come?
Because it's like the characters, they just use loads of different people, like from Eastern European backgrounds instead of just the Russian accent. So for us, we can't really tell. But in Eastern Europe, there's like, if you Google like Russia Today, Eastern Promises, it's just loads of people ranting and angry.
Oh, okay. I thought that was quite well received when it came out, but
I haven't seen it personally. In England it was.
Yeah.
And America.
Because we don't know better, and Americans don't know better. So.
Yeah.
Okay, that's quite interesting. What about you, Maitre?
What have I been watching?
You've got a whole list.
I have. It's not that big a list. Obviously, I kind of had a bit of a crisis recently where I thought I hadn't seen a lot, and films kept coming up in conversation, and lecturers were bringing stuff up like. Neil, our screenwriting lecturer, kept bringing up The Usual Suspects and kind of was talking about character development and stuff. So I was kind of like, haven't seen that. And then, you're talking amongst your friends and stuff, I haven't seen that. So kind of trying to watch a lot of films recently. So they kind of merged into one. So I've had to write them out as a list.
Okay.
Leon I watched the other day, which I loved. Leon was probably the best action film I've ever seen. Just fantastic sequences. Great development. It's like a great twist on like the usual formula of like masculinity and stuff, because you've got this whole buddy cop thing with Leon and Natalie Portman's character, and she's just a really great character because she kind of carries Leon throughout the film, and it's kind of, she's almost like stronger than him in that sense. Nice. But apart from Leon, I've watched Where the Wild Things Are, High Fidelity, Manhattan, Raising Arizona, The Big Lebowski, Some Like It Hot, The Talented Mr. Ripley, and The Prestige, all within like the past week. Yeah,
that's an impressive list of films.
Well, I kind of want to watch. Yeah, I want to watch a bit more. I've got in mind to watch Pan's Labyrinth this weekend. Yeah. I didn't even include the horror film festival.
Oh yeah, we
American Werewolf and
back home with Matt and Em and Jack as well. We watched Vice Versa, Event Horizon, American Werewolf in London, which was fucking brilliant. Event Horizon we made sure we didn't care for
that much.
And what else have I been watching recently? Me and Adele watched The Shining last week. She'd never seen it. Love that film. Shining's fantastic. Inception we watched recently as well. As part of the whole film philosophy module we're taking, just because we're talking about dreams and stuff, I want to watch it. And I got so much more out of it again. Like, I had to go like so many layers because obviously dreams. But yeah, there's a lot more to it than people realise. Watched Mulan. Never seen Mulan before. Very, very good.
I'm not gonna
easily high up there in the Disney films. And what else? Didn't you got a lot of 30 Rock? Oh, we all went to see Gone Girl last week, didn't we?
Yes.
Which was phenomenal.
It is fantastic.
So yeah, Fincher was incredible, and I really want to see it again.
Yeah, I think if I have a good 2 hours and 45 minutes to spare. No, I really like Gone Girl. I thought that I could even, to be fair, like that film could have even been longer. I would have still enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen a lot of people sort of complaining about the length or saying they kind of started to drift off a bit. But yeah, for me, I was on the edge of my seat all the time. I just want to see what happened to them. I want to see carry on with their lives and sort of see what happened to these two characters. Don't want to say anything to spoil it, but it's going to be interesting watching Dr. Horrible tonight with Neil Patrick Harris and that after seeing him in Gone Girl.
Well, yeah, I think it's more the first time because obviously watching 8 or 9 seasons of How I Met Your Mother of him kind of running around bombastically throwing his arms and chewing on the set, as it were,
and chewing on the women basically,
chewing on the women as well, and kind of seeing him play this completely mentally absurd person, kind of it comes across terrifying in some senses, but it's good to see Neil do stuff like that.
Yeah, some serious roles like Neil, MPH.
But it's great to see him do stuff like that because it's completely out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a lot of diversity to himself. So
I mean, Dr. Horrible looks a lot more up his street.
Yes, it's
a musical for starters.
With Nathan Fillion's brilliant. Felicia Day is really good. Felicia Day
sounds like a superhero.
Oh, she's an actress. She's a big YouTuber personality. She wrote a series called The Guild, which is about a bunch of World of Warcraft players, which is huge, and that's kind of what actually spawned Cheesemint.
Right.
They did a music video for their third series called "Do You Want to Date My Avatar?" where they were dressed up as their characters from the game. Right. And then we parodied that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, we showed that to James recently.
It's quite hilarious. Adam with like a mod haircut.
It's not mod; it just didn't have any product on it. I was a lot skinnier. My head's a lot bigger, and it's ridiculous. But yeah, and she's been in a lot of sort of Joss Whedon stuff. Yeah. She was in Dollhouse. She was in Buffy.
Fair enough.
So she's quite big in the sort of geek spectrum of things.
Let's check her out.
Yeah. Well, you'll be able to see it tonight.
Good.
Speaking of Whedon and Dr. Horrible, kind of brings me on to what I want to rant about, which is Marvel. Now, obviously, I'm quite a big comic book fan. I read a lot of comic books, not so much at the moment because I can't afford them, but and I really enjoy the Marvel films. You don't.
No, I don't.
Crump. Maitre, you're kind of like, you like some of them, you're on the fence.
Typical me, isn't it? Staying on the fence, but I'm kind of, I like some, I don't like, the phrase I always bring up when I talk about the Marvel films, so when people go, Captain America's the best, Guardians of the Galaxy's the best Marvel film, I always say, like, comparing the best Marvel films is like saying, who's the smartest Kardashian? So it's kind of like...
Chloe is the smartest.
Well, that's up for debate.
I've seen Chloe.
I think that's a little bit harsh.
I think
that's a little bit harsh.
And I think, but then, it's a kind of, why do people watch the Kardashians? It's like kind of fundamental entertainment, And that's what the Marvel films are. They are just.
But the Kardashians are pretty much the same people, whereas the Marvel films are the different genres. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, my don't
take that literally, by the way.
Yeah. I can hear a bunch of comic fans like sharpening the edges of their comic book paper to come and slice you up with. What I want to rant about is because despite being a big fan, and I'm really looking forward to Age of Ultron. I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy and Winter Soldier. It's been really good. Thor: Dark World's been there, but
You gave it a 7 out of 10 when we came.
Yeah, but
that was terrible. It was boring.
The thing is, whenever I watch a film, I'm more likely to hate it or love it straight away, and then when I step back from it, I can think about it and sort of rationalise it. At the time, it's just like you're seeing something new and exciting, which you either love or you hate. So I feel like you have to take like a saying. Doesn't Dario have isn't he part of a review site where they kind of like they put a review after first watching, review after a few days, and then like another review.
It's just the little
white lies do that.
Is that what they do?
The anticipation, the enjoyment, and then like in retrospect.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think you can view films differently like that. But anyway, I've been really, really kind of pissed off lately because I am sick of my Facebook feed saying Marvel was mentioned in a post, and then all these fucking movie and comic book pages basically talking about all these goddamn rumours about the films that are not even... So what I've done is I've kind of listed most of them here. Mm-hmm. Basically, these are kind of... Most of these are the rumoured stuff, not the official announcement stuff. But I'm started off with the official announcement. So, basically back in July 18th, during Comic-Con, Marvel Studios, they announced 5 releases from July 18th, 2017 up to the May 3rd, 2019. They just said, we're going to be releasing films on these days. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck do you even bother saying that? Unless you're going to say what they are, who gives a shit? It's just basically saying, well, I might as well make sure I'm free that day if I want to go to the cinema. I know it's just basically they're pushing out their chest against DC and saying, not in a sexual way, not against them, but like to them saying, we've got these dates, back off type thing. But it's pointless. It really pisses me off. And then people start like I wonder what the films are going to be. So anyway, following that, there was an official announcement. July 28th, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was announced, which it was to be expected, even though the film hadn't even come out at that point. Okay, so this is when we get some rumours. Okay, August 3rd, Chadwick Boseman, don't really know who he is. He let slip that he's in talks to play Black Panther. August 25th, Hawkeye might be in Cat 3. Who cares? Does that mean anything? September 8th, Stan Lee talks about when Black Panther might be released. Bearing in mind, Black Panther hasn't even been confirmed as a film at the moment, and they've got Stan Lee talking about when it might come out. So that doesn't mean anything. September 16th, there's an article about why Ant-Man will have a big influence on Avengers 2. Avengers 2 comes out before Ant-Man, who cares? September 17th, Doctor Strange might be released July 2016. Still, Doctor Strange hasn't been confirmed, okay? That still hasn't happened. September 18th, Deadpool movie announced for 2016. That's kind of like an actual bit of news. September 26th, Days of Future Past is going to be re-released, apparently, in 2015 with more Rogue.
Yeah.
Great. Brilliant, because that's going to add loads more to that piece of crap I, again, in retrospect, really didn't like. September 29th, Avengers 3 is going to be split into 2 films. Who cares? We haven't seen the second one yet. October 3rd, X-Men Apocalypse is going to focus on Beast and Mystique, apparently. Again, who cares? October 4th, Deadpool, the Deadpool film will be part of the X-Men cinematic universe. Who gives a shit? October 6th, Avengers Guardians crossovers apparently mapped out. It hasn't been announced. We haven't even had the second or third Avengers films. We haven't even had the Guardians sequel. But apparently they've mapped out how they're going to hook up. October 7th, this was a big one. Spider-Man might be part of the Avengers. Ooh, because it's a big deal because they're 2 different studios working together. But on the back of that, they're apparently cancelling Spider-Man 4. Haven't even seen Spider-Man 3 yet. They're possibly just going to do a whole reboot without Andrew Garfield, and they're going to put more emphasis on the Sinister Six film, which no one gives a shit about, because who, as Matt put, my friend Matt, who wants to see a bunch of old men fighting no one, because Spider-Man's not going to be in it. October 8th, Robert Downey Jr. confirms Iron Man 4. Very, very quickly afterwards, it's not confirmed at all. It's just him just playing up to the crowd. October 14th, Iron Man to be in Cap 3. Again, this is not confirmed. This is all just rumours. And Cap 3's base is going to be based on the Civil War story. Again, all rumours, no confirmation. And then yesterday, October 16th, 2 rumours I read. Ryan Gosling's going to be Doctor Strange. Again, no confirmation of that. And apparently the Russo brothers might be rumoured to direct Avengers 3 and 4. Well, I thought Joss Whedon was going to direct Avengers 3, but still, we haven't even seen Avengers 2 yet. Who gives a shit? Like, it's too much. Isn't it too much? Is that...
yeah.
Like, 95% of that is just complete hearsay.
I mean, the films are too much, so... Avengers added on. Yeah, but it's got to get them clicks.
That is it, exactly. It's all about... I'll agree with the first run of the Marvel films up to the Avengers. It was all about the anticipation for them to meet up in the Avengers, and I can understand that. But now it seems like we're anticipating stuff before we've had the stuff that we were anticipating before. It's like, I've been really, really looking forward to the steak, and now the steak's turned up, all I really care about is the ice cream I'm going to have afterwards. I couldn't really give a shit about the steak anymore. And then when I get the ice cream, I really want the coffee afterwards.
Well, because they go to the film, and then they wait for the end credit scene, because they want to see what the end credit scene is, they want to see what comes next, or coming in like 4... I mean, the Avengers one, after, about Thanos, what's the character? Josh Brolin is in...
Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Like that one was in that. That's like 4 years until the next...
Yeah, but I suppose in that, they're not committing to anything then, they're just kind of teasing it in that sense, but... I don't know, it's kind of like, I like the idea of like dropping stuff in. It's really difficult because I understand the whole comic book universe and film type thing, because that's how it works, you've got lots of different characters and they come together and stuff, and it's all about what you want to read and what you don't want to read. But it feels like a way of saturation, whereas to the point where I'm somebody who defends it all the time, and now I'm just like, I can't give a shit because people are idiots. People are so stupid. No one.
We did this in the last one.
I know.
Don't say that. People,
I can. The general, because that's all people care about. They're debating about it, and they're
arguing
about it.
I don't say people are idiots. I think it's the studio treating the people like idiots.
Yeah, but I think
people are taking it though. They're happy to have it.
Look at Man of Steel. Like Neil made the point in our screenwriting seminar that Man of Steel was absolute tripe. I really, really didn't like it. It was a bad film. It was badly written, badly directed, and generally didn't do very well, and yet everyone just can't wait to get some information about the sequel. Everyone's up in arms about Batman vs Superman, which is a shit title. And the same person, as Neil said, the same person's directing it. Nothing's going to have changed. No. They just, you throw a little kind of news in there, show them a shot of the Batmobile, and people lose their shit.
They went crazy over that Batmobile.
I just don't get it, and I feel like they're just clinging onto it. Like this, they just oh god, I've got to squeeze every penny out of this right now because it's going to disappear, and they're going to make it disappear because they're overdoing it. I mean, DC just announced all the films they're doing up till 2020.
A lot.
Which is a lot, but hats off to them. They're going to be the first company to do a female superhero film with Wonder Woman.
I would be interested to see how that goes.
Well, Elektra?
Who the hell's that?
That was a female superhero film.
she's
Lucy,
kind of part of
that came out this year. Does that count?
Well, I'm talking like comic book. Elektra doesn't. Well, Elektra was terrible.
I just don't want you. I don't want, like you're saying like fair play to them when like they're not really doing anything that new. They're just they're doing what they should be doing basically.
Mm.
Yeah.
But there are all these female superheroes that they could pick from, and no one's actually making one. I think they're talking about doing a Spider-Woman one for Spider-Man, but that's only because they've only got a certain amount of characters they want to use.
Yeah, Spider-Man's not exactly.
Yeah.
Got too many heroes.
But then I read some stuff today that apparently now the studio bitching at each other, like Fox, Sony, and
another rumour,
and Marvel. Another rumour. That Marvel Comics have cancelled their Fantastic Four comics, basically out of spite, apparently, because they want the Fantastic Four movie rights back.
Right.
Apparently the sales have been a bit crap anyway. And you don't see Fantastic Four or X-Men characters appear in any kind of like big universe spreads or anything like anymore. Again, it's just rumours, but it's all about, it's just everywhere and you can't escape it. And I know I'm drawing more attention to it now by talking about it, but I just feel a bit pissed off because I feel like, I don't know.
As a fan.
As a fan, I feel like I should be excited about all this, and I feel like it's just sad.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be. I'm not saying anything about the quality of these films. They could all be really, really good. Even Batman vs Superman could be surprising me. I'm not going to say, oh, it's going to be shit, because I've got no idea. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's just too much. It's like
it's too much.
Yeah.
Are there any you're looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to Age of Ultron because I know it's Sweden,
and
I feel like
Avengers was really good.
Yeah, Avengers was really good, and Crump doesn't like it.
I do not.
But I feel like I'm sick of origin stories. Not that Avengers really origin story, but I'm looking forward to now they're a team. What can they do with those characters? What can they do to bring them down, smash them up? And Whedon's great for like, you know, fucking people around in films, like really making you kind of. And I really want to see James Spader as Ultron because James Spader's brilliant.
Amazing.
He's such a good actor, and I'm really interested to see what he's going to bring to that because I think he's been perfectly cast.
And Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch,
she's good.
Everything's looking really good for that film at the moment, and you know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s been really exciting me as well. So I feel like I'm kind of bitching about something that I'm ultimately just going to go and participate in. I can't make some kind of bold statement by not going.
Yeah, but it's just that it's so much. I don't know, it's hard, but it's just so much marketing for something which is 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
It's like, just let us watch the film.
Yeah, just let us enjoy it. Let's just kind of like soak that up and then you know, and enjoy watching it perhaps again rather than, you know, fapping off looking forward to the next one.
That was graphic.
It was a bit graphic.
A little bit. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's yeah. But then, you know, fair play. You know, I guess they've been a bit more control. We haven't seen a trailer for Age of Ultron yet.
True.
Despite they showed apparently quite a decent trailer at Comic-Con, they're still held back on that. Okay. But yeah, it's probably part of the marketing ploy. They're probably going to put that on the Guardians of the Galaxy Blu-ray, and you have to buy it to see it, and then they'll release it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like, especially after seeing, you know, something as good as Gone Girl and some of the other incredible films we've been watching lately, I feel just a bit like, yeah, I'm kind of getting a bit sick of this. I never thought I'd be like this, but the Hollywood crap, I never thought. I feel like myself changing as I say it, but yeah.
I'm quite interested. I want to know, is there any Marvel or DC films that you're looking forward to as a kind of non-fan of the universes behind? No.
I don't think.
Any that you think you'll go see?
Any like actors? You know, anyone?
I can't really. Have you got a list of them?
Well, again, the only ones that have definitely been confirmed at the moment, as far as I know, are Avengers: Age of Ultron. Avengers 3 has got a date.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
No, I don't care.
And yeah, I care very little about that one. I think it's just because of the development hell that's been through.
I'm small.
And Cat 3 is probably the other one that's actually officially announced. And I'm worried they're going a weird
direction.
What's
the DC ones? Is it
DC?
Flash,
oh yeah.
Wonder Woman?
Hang on, I can find that. Using the hour of the internet. Goes Comic Vine. You read comics? Comic Vine's a good website. Go check that out.
Probably okay.
They won't care about this plug.
I'm gonna. Well, off what you said, like I know he's not the most exciting superhero, but there's like an inkling in me for Ant-Man, and it may just be.
I think it's Paul Rudd.
You love Paul Rudd.
It may be my everlasting love for Paul Rudd, but it's not that. It's not like, you know, I think he's the most incredible actor that's ever lived. I think he's just incredibly consistent in his performances, and you know, I don't think, you know, anyone can look at a film he's done and say, you know, Paul Rudd was bad in that. Like, I've never heard anyone say that. Despite him being a mainly comedic actor. And, you know, I think it's kind of cool that he's kind of playing a superhero. They're kind of... Marvel...
No, it's a nice choice, but...
the DC ones have announced. Check on Silver Report, it's good. So, the next film that's coming out after Batman vs Superman 2016 is going to be Suicide Squad.
David Ayer is a hack.
Right. And again, I don't really give a shit about Suicide Squad. They're doing a better now right now.
It's a terrible name as well.
Yeah. Then following that's going to be Wonder Woman, which again, her character will have been starred in Batman vs Superman, so we'll see.
Well, yeah, I can't really have any comment.
Doesn't got a director, it just says starring Gal Gadot.
But she's not really the most talented.
No, well again, all she's done is Fast and Furious, really, isn't it?
That's all I've seen.
So again, she might prove us wrong. Then following that, 2017 is Justice League Part 1. Zack Snyder again. What people I can do. 2018 is The Flash, starring Ezra Miller.
So he's a good actor.
But I think it's a shame they're not going to TV stuff. They had an opportunity to link it in, they're not doing it. Then fair play if they've got a different plan. 2018 Aquaman, starring Jason Momoa. Momoa, sorry.
Momoa, yeah.
Again, wrong Game of Thrones actor, should have been Jamie Lannister. 2019 Shazam, which we know has got the Rock in, Dwayne Johnson. 2019 Justice League Part 2, again directed by Zack Snyder. Then 2020 Cyborg, starring Ray Fisher, and 2020 is Green Lantern.
Where the hell's Ray Fisher?
I have no idea. I'm going to Google
they all sound terrible, I don't care.
The only one that I would really care about is Green Lantern, because I care about that franchise, because I love Green Lantern. But if it's anything like the last one, it'll be absolutely terrible.
No, they're trying to make it dark and like Batman.
No, we don't want it to be dark.
That's what they'll do.
Green Lantern is about being a space cop, and it's about willpower, and it's about being awesome and full of light and hope. And well, that's more Blue Lanterns, but it should just be like cops in space, and you have a partner, and you go around, you should see amazing alien worlds. We spent in that film maybe 5 minutes on Oa before Ryan was like, "Oh, I don't want to be a superhero, bye," and he just flies back home, and then it's a dick for the rest of the film.
I never saw that film.
Ray Fisher is unknown. The only things he's credited for are all the DC stuff he's going to be in.
Oh, well, nice for him.
Yeah. So, I mean, none of those kind of exciting you.
No, not really.
That's fair enough.
No.
It'd be good if there was just like, you know, I don't know. I feel like DC had the upper hand in a way, like in terms of like.
Having said that, actually, you did like the Amazing Spider-Man.
I did.
And we did enjoy it.
I did enjoy it.
So. Amazing Spider-Man 3.
It didn't make enough money, so we don't even know what's going to happen with the third one.
That's because I have just love from my childhood from Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think, same.
So I think it kind of, I don't think it was actually a great film, in a sense.
No.
But it was enjoyable. I think nostalgia kind of helped.
I think it was a nostalgic film. I think it was it was a very cartoony splash.
If you're a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old kid, you probably
that's what I said when I came out. I was like, 5-year-old me would have loved that.
Yeah,
it's interesting because obviously the Marvel films, they have a much older cast as well, so it is kind of pushing towards a sort of slightly older viewership, whereas Spider-Man is like a younger guy, so it does kind of have that market there. When you think about it, all the kind of like heroes and Avengers are all like late 30s, early 40s. Some of them probably, well, Sam Jackson, he's like 70, isn't he? So
is he? He's like 60.
Yeah, but you wouldn't believe it, would you?
I wouldn't know.
No, he's good for his age.
Moisturisers.
But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know what to think anymore. So I just kind of want to, say something about it. I've got no conclusion, which is really annoying because it is literally just we're going to see what happens. And it is just what Hollywood wants at the moment, like 5 superhero films a year, not even including any kind of like different superhero films you might get, like Kick-Ass or get like any kind of indie ones or.
Yeah. We've got the big Hero 6, is it?
It's a Marvel film.
It's technically a Marvel.
Disney, but it looks very good. It looks really good. Really nicely animated. Fun. I don't know much about the original. I think it was a comic. Don't really know much about it. But yeah. Can't remember what else was there. Off the back of that.
You must have something you want to plug. You always do.
Plug.
Or like something you go. I just want to.
Oh, I just want to say.
Yeah.
I hate Marvel.
Okay.
But if you want to give me a job, yeah,
we will happily come and. Well, I think we can, based on the screenwriting that just had so far. I know I can write a decent Green Lantern film.
You've done me there.
Yeah.
I'm going to write a good Superman film. It's going to happen. I need to know more about him, but that's for another day.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. No. I mean, I don't think you do need to know that much about him.
Shucks.
I think sometimes knowing too much about it, you can get sort of bogged down in the mythology. And sometimes you can just take the essence of like what Superman is.
But then like people, the way they seem to be doing these films is just like, well, they kind of like the Days of Future Past, for example. They were like, oh, we've really fucked this universe up. How do we kind of repair it? And then they found these these how many comics did they make with the time travel thing? And it was like 2, and like they were just like, oh yeah, we can use that. Done. Problem solved. That was so like lucky. That was not because they like delved into the archives and like.
Films are getting like they're getting really bold with their resetting now. We're just going to reboot this. We're just going to reboot it. And I've got no problem with a film that's like 30 years old, maybe having another go at it.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that potentially now. Like I'm glad it's being seen as more separate. Because trying to get a sequel would be it'd be too forced. But something like I saw an amazing tweet about the Ghostbusters thing saying someone said, I can't think of the
Do we know
phrase.
who's going to be in it yet?
No, yeah. But
we just know it's 4 comical female leads.
Melissa McCarthy would definitely be in it.
Yeah, it's going to be like
good
a bridesmaid.
Upsets me because I don't like Melissa McCarthy.
I like Melissa McCarthy. I like when she's in more sort of straight roles.
There's plenty of women I would like to have.
TV.
I could see like your Brie Larsons,
Brie Larson,
Alison Brie maybe, like someone like that.
Linda Cardellini,
Lena Dunham, maybe. A baby a bit too.
Oh,
I think she's a bit.
Tina Fey could play like the Egon character.
Tina Fey.
She's got the glasses, but she could do it quite well.
There's some really great comedic women out there.
There's loads.
I think.
Yeah, that just really excites me. And then I think the tweet was something like, "Oh yeah, in all casts, that's just it's just to grab headlines, isn't it? It's like it's just a novelty, isn't it? All female cast." And then someone said, "Well, what was the all male cast about then? Like, if you can't just say that, it's." I think it'll be genuinely brilliant. I know there's less people involved who are involved in the first, and that doesn't really make much of a difference. I mean, Ivan Reitman, he hasn't done a lot of good films other than Ghostbusters.
No. But I mean,
My Secret Ex-Girlfriend, amazing.
Yeah. But there needs to be a good vehicle because there's so many funny women out there.
Yeah.
And there's not enough vehicles for them.
And I think it would work pretty well.
Yeah.
I think it there's a whole, and again, it opens up Ghostbusters to a whole new generation as well.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's. Yeah, I think that's a really, really good idea. I'll totally be up for that.
Yeah.
I really want Amy Poehler's.
I think it is going to be that kind of crowd, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
So definitely. No, that'll be good. I'll be first in line to see that. I'd be interested if they used a Ray Parker Jr. song. Yeah.
Well, it's just been re-released on vinyl, isn't it?
Oh, you said the marshmallow smelling one.
It smells of white and it smells like marshmallow, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah, it's a really, really good idea.
25 years? 35 years? I don't know.
I think it's 25, 30 years.
1984, I want to say.
Oh, that's 30 then.
Yeah, because I think Ghostbusters 1 was 1984, and then 89 was Ghostbusters 2 because it was set like Christmas, New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah, which actually I watched those recently back to back. Adele never seen them, so we watched them.
Sounds nice.
Still good.
I still think they're brilliant. I absolutely love those films. I know people don't like the second one as much, but I love it. I really
Is it nostalgia or is it genuine? Genuinely
think it's really well put together. It's one of those films where people will say, "Oh, it's really funny," but you don't laugh out loud when you're watching it. It's not that kind of film. I guess it is a bit of nostalgia. You kind of feel really good when you're sitting there watching it, and just the aesthetic of it all, and New York is New York's a character in the film. And obviously more so. I mean, the only bit that kind of like pisses me off in the second one is a walking Statue of Liberty. I mean, that pushes it a little bit too far for me.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can handle it.
Speaking of New York being a character in the film, we watched They Came Together as well recently. That was another film we did.
Amy Poehler, Paul Rudd, where it's like a parody of romantic comedies, and
it's got its moments.
It's that really nice bit where it's like, oh my god, your story, it sounds like a film, and Amy Poehler's yes, but it's not. And then she looks at the camera. It's just really, really nice.
It's more miss and hit than hit.
Oh but
it does.
Yeah, but I think
there was some really nice elements to it. A lot of it was like, what, like?
Yeah. I mean, the scene with his grandma.
Oh yeah, what was that?
I think that was one of the misses, but I feel that they were just kind of. They obviously had a lot of fun making it, and there was a lot of just rolls of the dice. Let's just throw this in. They probably had so much content which they could have edited in and out. And
it did feel very long at the end. That was a short.
I'd love to see a different cut of it because it's kind of like it's like Anchorman in that sense where you could view kind of they do like in Anchorman they think they do all the jokes twice in like 3 times so you can do a completely new film. I think that's what they're doing.
But it was like
I think they
a much clever parody than something like a date movie or superhero movie. But still, parodies are fairly easy. Yeah. They are a parody at the end of the day. So, that's what we've been watching, really. One other thing we'll briefly mention, I don't want to get into it too much because we're kind of coming up to the end of the time that we've been going for about half an hour. We've started watching Twin Peaks.
Yes.
Because there was the news recently that David Lynch is going to do more episodes on Showtime, NBC's HBO thing, in 2016?
Yeah.
2016. And I've always been meaning to watch it. Someone let me the box set years ago and I don't think I would have really understood it back then. We're about 4 or 5 episodes in now.
Yeah, we've watched 5.
5. I missed one of the episodes. I was busy, but I will catch up. And obviously you've bought Mulholland Drive, which you really like, Crump.
I love, yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't really seen much Lynch. I just don't really know what to make of Twin Peaks so far.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking, what did the audience think when this first started? Because it's nothing to do with the time it was set, because I've watched shows from the 80s and stuff. It's like the whole aesthetic of it and the style and the music and just...
Well, I think Lynch is incredibly known for his involvement with music and his.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of bands nowadays that have put homage to Lynch. I mean, like the one that jumped to my head then was Bastille. They have a song called Laura Palmer, which is obviously the murder victim of Twin Peaks. Yeah. Not a spoiler.
Yeah, Amanda Palmer. She called one of her albums "Who Killed Amanda Palmer" because.
Yeah, exactly, and so he's transcended in that sense, and I think that's something which I've really liked, despite it kind of being very repetitive and being the same music.
But I do like the music though. It's weird.
Yeah,
we joke about it when we're watching it, but I can hear the themes so clearly in my head, all the time, and
it kind of like bringing it back is never a bad thing. It's like in the Lord of the Rings, when the Fellowship thing comes back in, it's kind of like you kind of get this.
And then you get from the second one like the Rise of Rohan kind of theme that comes back, but
obviously in Twin Peaks it's kind of the opposite effect. It kind of like, well, not in the sense that it's not a hoorah, because it's more of like a, obviously with the jazz and stuff, that's kind of where where the eerie dancing comes in, and Laura kind of starts to fill the room again, and it's kind of I think.
I'm just interested to see, because obviously it hasn't been overly surreal so far. I know it is going to be. I missed the most surreal episode, didn't I, with the dream?
Yeah.
But I am interested kind of how it develops, and I think I need to watch some more Lynch, because obviously people just love Lynch. They just they absolutely adore him, and I've never really kind of been exposed to that. So I'll be interested to see, like, maybe if we're having record another one of these in a couple of weeks, sort of talking about it then, see how if our perspectives kind of changed.
Yeah.
Because probably most people that watch and listen to this will have seen it, and they'll be kind of thinking, "You're idiots, you should love it." Blah, blah, blah. People have been kind of like for ages.
Yeah.
When that was announced, the new episodes, my Facebook and Twitter were just full of like
a lot of praise.
I'm so excited.
It's because he's doing it all, so he's directing all 9 episodes.
Yeah. Unusual number 9.
It's a strange number.
But then, like the pilot of Twin Peaks was like an hour and a half, and like episode 8 is like 2 hours or something.
Already.
Yeah, so it's kind of, I think he's very much in control.
I'm surprised the network knew what to do with that back in the day. Like,
I think that's probably why it got cancelled.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, one of the reasons.
I suppose, but then Game of Thrones, their episode size differs. Sometimes they're like an hour, sometimes they're about an hour and 20 minutes. Like, maybe an hour and 20 minutes might be a little bit push, but they do differ by about 5 to 10 minutes sometimes.
Still, I think there's a big difference from 40 minutes to...
True, yeah, but like... Most TV networks would not let you get away with that now. Because, you've usually got your strict 44 minutes or your strict 21 minutes, depending on if you're an hour long show or a half an hour long show. Obviously with HBO and stuff they can kind of push it a bit differently. But then I like when TV networks kind of respect that like when the first episode of The Walking Dead aired on FX in the UK, the first episode didn't have any adverts. And I love that. Or sometimes you might not get any adverts for you might just get one ad break. If you're watching on TV, obviously, and if you're watching online or whatever, it's different. And I like it when they make it into a bit of an event, because that's what they need really. It's more what people do with films and stuff. But TV has become more of an event. I mean, look, Doctor Who, the recent premiere of that was on in cinemas and stuff. Their anniversary special was on in cinema last year. So I think they did the Christmas special. I'm not 100% sure, but they might have done. It's becoming more of a TV's like.
Well, it started with Friends when they did their episode and they premiered it in Times Square, didn't they?
Oh, did they? I didn't know that.
That's really a big deal about that. They had thousands of people out just to watch the final episode of Friends.
Yeah, and TV's just huge. I mean, the season 5 opened The Walking Dead. I was telling you the other day. That's like apparently the most watched thing ever, a premiere of anything ever. Like 17 million viewers in the US, which is huge. I think next biggest thing that night was The Big Bang Theory at like 5 million or something, 7 million, 7 million. Again, I'm kind of trying to remember numbers off the top of my head, but and that was phenomenal. It was a really good episode, and that's series 5. I mean, isn't it great that like people still watch a show 5 series in and give it that much attention, and it's still that good quality?
Modern Family.
Yeah, still really winning all its awards. Oh yeah, we were watching a lot on Family. Nearly cried at the episode last night. Yeah, it's all good. Like, yeah. What TV stuff are you watching at the moment, Crump?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I need to catch up on that.
Because I watched the first 3 seasons, and there was these characters who just repulsed me.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep watching.
But you watched 3 seasons worth, because
well, they're occasionally in it. There's a couple of characters that occasionally come in it. And they just disgusted me, so I just couldn't watch it anymore. But I got back into it, and they've not been in it since.
Okay, maybe they realise that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it gets a bit too immature for my taste.
Yeah.
But then it does do things. It's just some things it does.
It's quite shouty, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very shouty. But there's some moments where you're just like, that's just so well done.
Because it feels a bit quiet on TV at the moment, because obviously Community's not back yet because of the change to Yahoo after NBC cancelled it. And Parks and Rec, because it's a shorter season, isn't starting until later on. They're filming it at the moment, and that's the last season of that.
And you've got Girls and Mad Men, which is next year.
Yeah, Mad Men's next year as well, yeah. Game of Thrones obviously post-Christmas.
New Girl, which is shocking at the moment.
Yeah.
Don't really want to dwell on
Indie
that.
Project.
I don't really watch Indie Project, but I really liked her in The Office, so...
Yeah, I love the Indie Project.
Watching,
great.
at the moment, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is probably the other sitcom I'm watching. Really enjoying that. Consistently very funny, so...
Yeah. I rewatched Peep Show from the beginning.
Oh yeah, I watched a couple of episodes of that last night. Not last night, the other night. I watched the episode where they try to section each other.
Oh,
yeah, when the one's crazy, which is really good. And then the episode where Mark pretends he's taking some ecstasy, but he hasn't actually.
Oh yeah, the munchies.
So we have a connection, mate, don't we? He's like, no, get out. I'm making toast and put it on Radio 4. Yeah, which is really good. Again, some of those I find too painful to watch though. Too cringe-worthy. Sometimes I just like something in between is too awkward. I can't watch this.
Do you not like The Office?
I love awkward.
Sometimes The Office I can handle, but I think if it's almost like too relatable, I can't do it. Like a bit too on the nose.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it's just like, it's painful. Sometimes even Father Ted can be a bit like that. I find so what have you done this time? Even though I've seen the episode a million times, I'm just like, I can't handle this right now. But it's good. It's obviously getting the reaction they want. So yeah. We should round this off, I guess.
I did want to do a quick plug for the new Foo Fighters.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. We discussed it on TV and film. Probably should mention music.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Foo Fighters have just released the first song off their latest album. They released it last night, and I think it's great. I think it's really structurally interesting in terms of what they've done previously. I think a lot of people, on their 8th studio album would expect another All My Life or another Bridges Burning, kind of a big rock song, but they've kind of been a bit more experimental, and obviously what they're kind of going for this HBO documentary, which is it's premiering tonight, and I'm so excited for it. I loved Dave's film he made last year, Sound City, and it's just like the thing I love about the Foo Fighters is they're music lovers. They just every time you hear Dave or Pat or Nate or Chris or Taylor, or whenever they talk about music, they're just talking about it from like a fan's perspective. There's never any like, this is what we go for in our music. It's more like they're just constantly talking about their influences, and that's 8 albums deep. I think that's
how it should be when you're a band. It should be about evolving, changing.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, if you just spin the same record like again and again, what's the point?
Exactly. And I think this new record and this new thing, and a song, an episode, and a different city, an episode is such an interesting concept, and credit to them for doing something like this, because it's really interesting, and a lot of. It's not something people do, and not something a lot of bands and artists do nowadays, is kind of try and branch out and do. I mean, they've done it very consistently, making an album in their garage. They've done a double album. They did, an acoustic kind of album, and now they're doing this documentary with HBO, which, And
they're hour-long episodes?
I presume so, 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
But, if you're a music lover, just watch it in general, even if you're not a Foo Fighters fan, I mean, they've spoken to people like, well... from what I've seen, they've spoken to literally everyone, who comes from each city that has got some sort of music credibility. Yeah. So I think, really excited for the documentary. I'm sure if you have me on again in a couple of weeks.
We'll probably be talking about that. I'll probably watch some of it with you anyway. So
but really excited for that.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Like again, it's just cool kind of like content that there's just so much stuff to watch at the moment and listen to, which is absolutely awesome. And obviously you could contribute to the Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever
Yes.
to get them to come to Cornwall.
Bring Foo Fighters to Cornwall, which was the fastest crowdfunder, not Kickstarter, in the UK ever. It raised, God knows what it's on now, over £200,000 in like 3 days. And I've pledged for a ticket, and obviously I kind of felt like a bit of an idiot, but then they kind of made this huge disclaimer, you know, if the Foo Fighters don't come, you don't pay, kind of thing. That's so it's win-win, and to have the Foo Fighters, that would be something complete that another band hasn't done, because no one plays in Cornwall. That's especially if, you know, over an arena level band like the Foo Fighters, stadium level.
Where would they even play?
They've got this idea of a field. I want to say near St Austell or Redruth or somewhere like that. They've got this. They've got a field in mind, but they could play anywhere. They could do like a 10 nights. Well, that'd be a bit optimistic. Like the pavilions or something. You know, they could do like several nights.
Yeah.
Kind of,
spread it out so lots of people get to see them. Like,
yeah,
because obviously a lot of people contribute as well.
But yeah, I think there's still tickets available. So if you're a Foo Fighters fan or want to bring big bands to Cornwall, you know.
Yeah, man, that's the way to go about it. If anyone watching was like watching what I was doing when I looked at the cameras, because I'm checking the battery and it was still recording, so I'm not just kind of like, yeah, so we'll see, I guess. Cool. So I think that's about it, really. Thanks for coming, guys. We'll probably have another episode up in a couple of weeks. Hopefully. I'm going to try and get this on as a podcast as well, not just a video podcast on YouTube, so I'm trying to get it so it's on iTunes. I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about that. I think you have to pay to have it on the website. So if you're listening to this as a podcast, I did it. Yay! But or it might just be that we can only watch it as a video, which is unfortunate. But we'll see what we can do. But yeah, I just want to keep them going frequently, more kind of general discussions, talk about what we've been doing, what we've been watching. And then, you know, if it carries on well, we might go back to TV studio, might try and do a live stream at one point, which would be quite good. But we'll just see how it goes. Anyway, so thanks for watching and listening. Potentially, we have to listen anyway. Bye.